What is up, guys? Wannabe Pilot 35 here, and today we are in Space Flight Simulator. Now, I have been playing this game for a while. I will admit, this is not a new game that I found. This has just been a small side hobby of mine to try to complete some of the challenges. But lately, as I've got it on my computer, I've opened up myself to a new world of public blueprints. Now, the one you're looking at here is a public blueprint made by RVuren, and this is in the public server. This is called the Lunar Starship. Comes with many stages, many little things that you can do, but it's specifically made for one mission and one mission only, to land on the moon. Now, these things are blueprint edited, which is like another way of saying customizing the size and capabilities of the items. But yeah, that's what we're looking at today. Now, what this is a fuel tank that I had previously planted up in space. This actually took 3 fuel tanks, and I sent the first one up and I let it orbit, then sent the next 2 up and siphon the fuel to the first orbiting tank. Now we're gonna latch onto that tank and hopefully get us to the moon. Right here is our launch. The boosters look super nice on this. One thing you can see right off the bat is that the boosters that you see on the outside are fairings, and the actual engines are inside the booster. So that is something cool I like about that. So I wanted to try to beat the orbiting fuel tank into space, but we are going to let it pass us, which is a real shame. But hopefully it doesn't take too much to catch back up. I really hope it doesn't. And yeah, let's get ourselves up into orbit. Let us pat ourselves on the back as we successfully made it into low Earth orbit. It does look like we're gonna have a little bit of a headache trying to catch up with that fuel tank, but that is absolutely no hassle at all. What we do have to monitor as of right now is our booster. We are gonna land that back at the launch tower, so let's go ahead and prepare for re-entry. Changing our booster direction here. That's gonna better set us up for the tower landing. Hopefully it doesn't go wrong. I will admit this might take me a couple retries. Re-entry is looking glorious here. I love the fire on the bottom. Space Flight Simulator is more of like a watch your maps thing, so I won't be giving too much visuals. Hopefully my yapping is entertaining enough. But as we set ourselves up for the landing, we did have a little mishap with the direction. I did cut it a little short. The landing was one of the most challenging things I did in Space Flight Simulator. Mostly the threading the needle and getting that booster through the sticks here. I can tell you it was not fun, but when it was completed, I did feel, more proud of myself in that moment. But after that, I did remember we had a mission to carry on. So after engaging the sticks, I did get a little lopsided, and I did not plan for that to happen, but we landed. So that is the least of our concerns. Back in orbit, we have our moon lander. Look how glorious that is. We are going to try to catch up to the fuel tank here. But while we're doing that, a little more about the blueprint. I originally had another Starship I was looking at, but After close consideration, I realized it was too weak to even get the Starship into orbit, and the more boosters I added, the laggier it got. So I'm really glad this Starship, as professional as it is running so great on my PC. The flight path suggestion did try to scam us with us almost hitting the ground trying to get to the fuel tank, but after a little bit of time warping, I was able to get the right path in order to perfectly intersect with the route of the fuel tank. Now, I did extend the, solar panels, correct me if you will, but I did extend those because we were in a cruising point right now before we intersected with the fuel tank. So, a little time warping later, and we finally come in path of the tank. As we intersected paths, I realized I was way off. I tried to cut a corner I definitely shouldn't have cut, and that cost me about 19.9% of my fuel before I could dock onto the fuel tank. Approaching the tank, I quickly realized that the docking port was on the complete opposite side, so I had to RCS my way all the way around to meet ends with the other docking port, which cost me another 3% of fuel. And as you can see in the bottom left, I'm on 0.1% of fuel before I finally try to take that risk and dock onto the fuel tank before I run out. And I did fortunately dock. I was able to transfer all the fuel over so we can actually finally begin our mission. Now, this was a hard process, and it took me many retries as for the booster landing, but in the end, it was great satisfaction, and, another moment I had to lock in and continue the mission. Disconnecting the fuel tank, I planned to send it back into the atmosphere, not for a landing, just for a crash. SpaceX in Spaceflight Simulator is not that advanced when it comes to landing fuel tanks, for now at least. So I reversed its trajectory so it could get into the nitty-gritty of the chemicals in our atmosphere in order to slow it all the way down so eventually it would crash. Entering our atmosphere, I did notice that this fuel tank does have layers on it. Also, this fuel tank blueprint is made by the same person, just a different ship. It is called the Fuel Depot Starship. It comes with a booster and the fuel tank, and it does take more than one Starship to make a complete full orbiting fuel tank. Upon crashing, I did realize that a bunch of stuff split up into little tiny pieces, and I had to recover every little piece. But that is besides the point. After that was done, I switched back to my moon lander that was in orbit, and it was time for the burning turn. about this blueprint as I am doctoring up my approach into the surface of the moon. I think this thing is stocked on stages. Like, for the engine stages you see on the right side of the screen, I didn't need all of them, but I am definitely glad that they were there. One thing I do love about Spaceflight Simulator is that there is a great community full of people that are not too technical when it comes to this game and love to take advantage of the vast items and other trinkets that are our item menu. A beautiful touchdown onto the moon. I did not enjoy it because I was kind of going to the side a little, and it would have looked way more epic if I didn't have that side momentum and I didn't have to use RCS to balance myself. But one thing about the moon physics and Earth gravity that I love in this game is that when you position yourself for a moon kickoff, you can't just go straight to the bottom of Earth's orbit and then try to go full throttle and expect yourself to go straight into Earth. You have to kind of position yourself on the side to counteract for moon's orbiting speed, and then when you kick off, you are able to send your trajectory kind of into the upper atmosphere or lower-ish atmosphere, just so that it is easier for your re-entry and landing. Upon re-entry, I noticed that my landing zone was on the other side of the Earth, so I was going to have to periodically perform belly flops and stay narrow at some points in order to get my trajectory on the right path. But I did do a tiny screw up when I didn't belly flop early enough, and my trajectory did not lower at all. But I was able to use my remaining bits of fuel to change my trajectory to just barely graze the top of the landing zone, so I didn't have to do much on my way there. Re-entry was hectic because it took a lot of retries in order to get that trajectory just right in order to stay in the landing zone. Landing was even more hectic when stuff started exploding. I guess the reload glitched and everything was glitching inside of each other and exploding, and you can see some clouds in the air when I zoom out. Upon approaching the ground, I did underestimate my velocity, and I did end up crashing on the first attempt. Second attempt, I hit the tower, and yes, I did not freeze my video. This actually froze my game like this, and that made me very angry. Third attempt, I hit the tower again, causing a massive explosion. Fourth attempt, I actually made a decent landing, but upon touching down, I misjudged and forgot my gear weren't down, or landing legs. Final attempt, I remembered the landing legs, and I had a smooth approach. Everything went smoothly. The booster is gone. I didn't recover it, but yeah, that's gone. I guess everything exploded, but great landing from the moon lander. That is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed, please express your gratitude with the buttons down below. I will be making more space flight sim videos if recommended. If you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments what I should do next. I'll have all the links to the blueprints down below. But if you want to go look for yourself, I'll leave a link to the Spaceflight Sim server as well. But yeah, don't forget to check out RVuren's blueprint links. This is where I got that ship I'm using. But yeah, great ship, great stages. Everything runs smoothly. Everything runs greatly. A little issue on the reloading the booster and the landing leg, but that doesn't really matter when it comes to landing the moon lander. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.